course, coming back to our country and now in the field of entertainment as an industry. And of course, yesterday I did a story of how actually Navio pulled away from he's no longer interested in awards because he has nothing left to prove. Maybe awards are enough for these excited and upcoming artists. And of course, Navio as well added on and said international labels, these issues of international labels signing artists. And of course, for example, there was a time we saw Big Trill being signed in some Nigerian label. Then, of course, Irene in Italy as well, when she left Swans Avenue, she got signed into some Nigerian label still. He came out and said that this issue of international label signing Ugandan artists is just to hold them as they push on their own brands. And of course, that's what he said. He said most of those labels sign musicians, they are afraid of they sign musicians that they are afraid of. That's what he meant. They see them coming for their market, and what they do is to sign you and put you on hold as they push their own artists. And of course, adding on that, he said that after 2, 3, or 5 years, they don't renew the contract and you would be nowhere on the scene. And of course, that is said partially in an interview that he had on a local television. Sometimes it is true, but also sometimes I thought any label that may sign you, it might be one giving you exposure and selling you from just Ugandan market to now international market out there. But of course, that is the view of course, the king of rap in Uganda. That is Navio right there. Then, of course, putting that aside, as we celebrated the death of Mose Radio on the 1st, that was on Thursday, there were a lot of people who were making noise. They were first of all criticizing Weasel why he didn't turn up on the prayers. Then Weasel came out clear like he was there, seriously. And of course, this is a lady who was, she was actually a former Miss Uganda. That is Dorah Mwima, who has a baby together with Mose Radio. She came out in an interview, said, I am not interested in Mose Radio's property. That is actually what she said. If my intentions were to claim for the late's property, I would have done so. But that was never my intention. Ethan, that is actually their child. Ethan has a father who loves him, and we love him. I don't need anything from the late radio's property. That is actually what she said in an interview earlier on this very week. So for those who thought probably she is intending or looking at claiming for property because they have a baby, she has come out to say she does not really have those intentions. That is a former Miss Uganda, Dorah Mwima, right there. So that is what I had for you briefly just on my trend zone today. But of course, I want to take you through some musical break. Immediately after that musical interlude, I'll be bringing you a gentleman who's going to discuss with us about fashion. In many times, we